All right, so welcome everyone to the Star Wars Guys YouTube channel, where the Force is family. I am Master Paul, and we are back for some more gaming. We're going to pick up where we left off on Super Mario 64, and let's get it. Alright, so where were we? Okay, so we were going to do Star 5 of Jolly Roger Bay, and I think that's going to be all that we can do there until we can get the metal cap. So let's get it. Alright, real quick, I'm gonna pull it up second screen here just so I can see what's going on. Alright, everything's looking good. I'm just sharing out the link right now. Alright. So, did I open the cannon? Oh, Spock's Friday Nights is here. He says, stopping by to drop a like and comment. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Alright, I need... Live long and prosper. Thank you, Science Officer. Ooh, that was close. I hope this is the right way. Well, I got hurt, but I still made it. And number 24 in the bag. Okay, did I do... I think I did do the, yeah, I did. I was gonna ask if I had done the secret, or the secret, I can pronounce my R's, secret aquarium, but, oh, awesome. Spock's Friday Night says working on the Google Doc currently. Cool. I can't wait to see what you contribute to that. Alright. Time to go down the slide. And in this one, it's okay to cheat. By the way, Spock... Oh, shoot. I was too late. Alright, looks like we're doing the legit way. By the way, Spock, if you're still watching, how... Shoot. I was distracted. So let's see how the quality is looking on my end right now. Alright, looks like we're doing good so far. Alright, take two. I'm gonna get that shortcut this time. Oh, and I just realized I'm wearing the right shirt for this. Alright. I'm not gonna bother doing the fancy jump this time. I'm just gonna go for that shortcut. Do I get it? Yes. Glenn Schroeder's in the chat. He says, not a gamer, just saying hey. And Leia Rose says, looks well. Okay. And Spock is still here. Awesome. Glad to know that everything is going well. Alright. And I got my life back. So... I'm going to go ahead and say something about this. Spock knows what I'm about to say, though he doesn't know that I'm going to say it. We've had some interesting developments happen with Tuesday Night Trek. because we have gotten the attention of one Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett, who is a voice that we... Oh, shoot. I dropped this thing. No! That's not what I wanted to do. We're starting that one over. So anyways, as I was saying, Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett on his channel, The Burnett Work, was having a stream, and the Nerdporial Lifeform, shout out to him, sent a super chat to him, asking whether or not Mr. Burnett would be willing to come on to Tuesday Night Trek with us, and he said I just got to email him, but that he would love to do it. So we don't know yet when that will be. In fact, I got to email him tomorrow, but hopefully sooner rather than later, we're going to be talking Star Trek with someone that has very deep connections to the series. In fact, he even made a movie with William Shatner kind of based off Star Trek called Free Enterprise. So we're going to be taking a look at that, of course, too. Like I said, we do not have any concrete dates for this yet, but as soon as we know when something's going to happen and we get all our ducks in a row, you guys will know. Alright, I do not like this bridge. It's been a minute since I've done this and not gotten hurt. There we go. Alright, let's see if I can do it again. Good, got it. Alright, now down the hill. Oh, shoot. Not what I wanted to happen. Thankfully, I didn't have to fall down into the slide again. What is it with me and ledges this game? Alright. Here's your baby back, you irresponsible mother. So, while I'm playing this, of course, you guys in the chat, what do you guys want to talk about? Because I'll talk about just about anything with you guys. Even though I am playing a video game, this is still, for all intents and purposes, a chill stream, so we can really talk about anything. Alright, now to race the penguin, and I have to do it legit this time. No shortcuts. It's rare that I do this star in one try. Alright, here we go. Oh. That's okay. Oh, shoot! Oh yeah, that's right. Leia Rose. Good shout. So yeah, in 2 days we are getting the Book of Boba Fett, which I am really excited for. I'll be honest, I have not been keeping up with the trailers. That's why you haven't been seeing us cover them on here. Honestly, that is because the more the trailers show, the less I'm surprised with what's in the show. I know there's this one girl character that's been making the rounds on social media. I don't know who or what she is, so I want to be completely surprised. Hopefully it's a good surprise. Oh, oof. That was close. But I think I got it in the bag. Famous last words. Alright. Yeah, I got it. Now let's see if I can get up there to... Let's see if I can get up to where that life is. Almost. Let's try again. Doesn't help that the floor is so slippery. Shoot! It's okay. I'll get the life back when I do the 100 coins on the next star. Now, let me ask you guys this. Do you guys think... I know this question has been pretty much beat to death at this point. Do you guys think we're going to see Mace Windu in the Book of Boba Fett? Because even though I would like to see it, it's starting to come across to me as something of a... like, it's too good to be true. And it's something that would have to absolutely be done right, otherwise it just comes off as nostalgia for nostalgia's sake. Which you could say perfectly describes the sequel trilogy. By the way, if you're wondering, I'm going down the slide again so that I can get all the 100 coins. Because I know there's coins here that I need to get. So let's see. See, yeah, I'm already more than halfway there on the coins. Heck, I'm almost 3/4 of the way there. So all I gotta do now is get the red coins and a couple miscellaneous coins, and again, I'll be knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone. So yeah, as far as Mace Windu, Leia Rose says maybe, but you never know what Disney is gonna do. That is true. They could also bring back Han Solo, because, like I said, they have Shamook, and there was that one rumor that I think either we made a video on or we covered in a live stream talking about how how Harrison Ford was seen, you know, on set on a Star Wars sort of thing with the deep fake dots on his face. I know he's been doing that with Indy because of his injury, but they have the technology to de-age Han, at least make him look like the original trilogy Han again. The only thing that would throw it off is what they do with his voice, because Harrison Ford nowadays does not sound like Harrison Ford back in 1983 or so when Return of the Jedi came out. So how they would pull that off, no clue. But it could happen. They could pull a miracle right out of the hat. Spock's Friday Night says, not super excited for the show, but I'm intrigued since it's considered Star Wars canon. Understandable. I'll say this, so far, there's not been anything that I have seen in the trailers that I have seen that has given me any cause for worry. Shoot! Thought I could get that thing. Okay. We'll just let it go. It's not worth risking a life to gain a life. And I mean that in video game terms. Alright, so let's go over here now to the cannon. And get the red coin that's up there on that cliff. In general, I really don't like this world that much. It's kind of one of the more boring worlds to me. But it's one you gotta get through to beat the game. Let's hope I place that right. I think we're good to go. Alright. Is this a life? Yes. Alright. That's number 7. So down here is number 8. Shoot! I thought I had that. But that's okay. Spock's Friday Night says, Disney Star Wars ended at Clone Wars Season 7, in my humble opinion. Not really into these newer shows, but Mandalorian set a good tone. Okay. I can certainly understand where you're coming from with that, man. Alright, I made it that time. Okay, I just need one of these blue coins, and that will put me at 100. There it is. Alright. Let's see. Pacific 414, welcome by the way, says, I'm going to watch the Book of Boba Fett and review it once my new mic comes. And hopefully, man, that thing comes soon. Because I could definitely, not to say that it's bad, but I could definitely tell a difference in quality when you popped on with your little headset thing when we were talking about Spider-Man last night. Which, side note, by the way, Michael and I did, we did go and see it again earlier tonight. We took our sister. This was her first time seeing it. And she really liked it. I liked it just as much as this time as I did last. And really my opinion hasn't changed of it. I just understand it a little bit more. So, real quick, I'm going to go... Okay, tell you what. I'm going to do something... I'm going to talk about something kind of spoilerish. So, real quick, put a 1 in chat if you have not seen this movie. Because I want to be able to talk about this, but it could be considered kind of spoilerish. Shoot! He's going to go the wrong way. He missed. I think I got to start the level over again. But yeah, if you have not seen Spider-Man, please tell me in the chat, so... Well, shoot. Spock's already spoiling things in the chat now. So, by the way, I just realized, Spock, why are you not a wrench? Let's fix that. Spock's Friday Nights now has a wrench. And you know what? I think all of my bridge crew from the Tuesday Night Trek need a wrench. So, Pacific, you are now a wrench. I think Brandon's already... I think Nerdporial is already a wrench. I can't remember... Well, we'll see about Brandon, given the dubious nature of what happened to his channel. I got stuck in the snow. But yeah, basically, Spock, just moderate the chat as you would EBN. Get over here. Shoot, too far to the right. I'm gonna have to do it again. But I'm gonna kill this guy first. Yes, Coach's Archives is a wrench too. How are you tonight, man? So anyways, I'm just gonna talk about it. So, spoiler warning for Spider-Man No Way Home. I think I understand now why at the very end Peter Parker could not tell MJ and Ned who he was. At first he wanted to, but he was sort of being hesitant about it and tripping over his words. But then he saw that MJ still had the Band-Aid right here from how she got hurt at the Statue of Liberty back during the big battle. And that sort of struck a chord in Peter's head where it's like, they got hurt because they knew that I was Spider-Man. I don't want something like that or worse to happen again. So I'm just going to keep it a secret from them for their own good, basically. At least that's how I interpret it. You guys that have seen the movie, what did you think of that scene? And do you think my interpretation is spot on? And Pacific 414 says, trust me, I wasn't happy about the audio quality myself, so I'm not offended. Good to know. Alright, let's see if I can do this without getting left behind by the snowball. Shoot! Again! Okay, let's see if I can... I think I can still salvage this. Just gotta get the snowball to lock onto me. Shoot, it ran over me again. That is 3 times I've messed this star up now. And this usually does not happen. Alright, let's heal up real quick. Pacific 414 says, "Thank you for the promotion, Captain." You're welcome. My chief engineer needs a wrench. You are the... Because, again... Alright, so real quick, Spock's Friday Night says, "Little nitpick, I'm happy they don't consider Zendaya as Mary Jane, but rather a different person. Miss Jones or something." Okay, yeah. Because I think MJ in the MCU meant Michelle Jones, not Mary Jane Watson. Okay. And Coach says, "Stand behind the ball." Okay. So I'm guessing you mean... Oh, shoot. Almost fell. Come on, I can salvage this. Mario kicking more than a Radio City Rocket. Alright, let's try that again. Okay, shoot. Why am I going so slow? I'm pushing down the stick all the way. Wait. Wait, hold on. No. No! Why? Spock's Friday Night says, "I like Zendaya, but she looks nothing like Mary Jane Watson from the comics." You're right. But, again, that's understandable because, as they said, this is the multiverse they're dealing with, so, you know, we have Mary Jane Watson still as Kirsten Dunst, but now we have a different Mary Jane that goes by a different name and looks different. Just like we now have Tobey, Andrew, and Tom Holland in the same movie as Spider-Man. They're each individually Peter Parker, each individually Spider-Man. Suck again. Yes, I know, Coach. I'm going to get this. Okay, let's try this again. I think I have enough speed. Yes, we got it. Alright. Don't mess up. Famous last words. Now I just need to guide him. Get over here. Shoot. And that went so well too. I'm going to get this star. I'm not moving on until I get this star. Usually, anytime I'm playing this off camera, I am able to get this star in one shot. Alright, let's try again. Alright, here we go. So far, so good. Stand behind the head. Okay. Got it. Alright, hopefully that's not too far. Okay, I think I was sliding too much on that one, but I get what you're saying now, Coach. I'm gonna get it right. By the way, thank you to Spock and Leia for handling that Russian bot, whoever that was. I've been seeing those, by the way, pop up a lot on random streams. I don't know what they are or why they are. What hit me? Let's see. Pacific says, "I thought MJ was more likable in No Way Home." I definitely liked her, and I'm saying that as someone that has not seen the first 2 Spider-Man movies. Though I will likely go back and watch them, having seen now this one twice. Ooh, that was close. It almost ran me over. All right. So, I understand now what Coach is saying. So, let's get it. There we go. Thank you, Coach, for the help. That's why they call you the Coach. Alright. That one took way longer than it should have, but it's behind us now. You're right, Leia Rose. It could be the Romulans that are sending out those Russian bots. And by the way, just so you guys know, if you didn't tune into the last stream, I'm basically doing every world as much of a clean sweep as I can before moving on to the next. That's why I'm 30 stars in, but still on World 4. Alright. This one should not give as much trouble. Alright, let's see if I can land this shot right. I think that's good. That was close. I seriously thought I was going to miss that. Alright. Jump over you. Jump over you. Now, long jump. And now it's just a matter of nailing these wall jumps, which I used to not be able to do. Okay, I timed that wrong. That was on me. I used to not be able to do these, but I can do them okay now. Oh, shoot. Too soon. Hello, Phil McCracken. Alright, try that again. Hello to Jonathan. Okay, shoot. Alright, try that again. Thank goodness for this heart here. I angled that wrong. Saved by the Pine. Yes, that's right, Pacific. How did I do it too late that time? You missed it earlier, John. I seriously botched the snowman head. It took me like 8 different tries to get it right. Okay, I went at that one crooked. I'm gonna try a different strategy. There we go. Now, let's see if I can just long jump this. There we go. Phil McCracken says, I'm here to keep the likes of X-Wing away. What is it with you and X-Wing, man? I don't get it. But anyways, that's the end of this level, so now it's time to go to the ghost level. Hashtag 2022, the year that X-Wing falls. Well, why X-Wing, man? Like, why specifically X-Wing? Spock. Oh, hello to the legendary Tron, who fights for the users. I bet Tron could probably beat this game in his sleep. As good as he is at things like Apex and such, I'm sure this game is nothing to him. Leia Rose says X-Wing has a flair about all Star Wars. I don't know what that means, but okay. Actually, you know what? No. Change of plans. We're not going to do the ghost level yet. We're going to go ahead and fight Bowser. And of course, Spock saying justice for Star Trek V. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. If you haven't seen Star Trek V, you don't know what I'm talking about. Alright, can I do it? Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay. I've been able to get this star, though, without the metal cap. Let's try this again. Okay. I punked out there. I'll just wait. Phil McCracken says, only X-Wing. Coach knows why we form an alliance to bring X-Wing down. I don't know what's going on with this Phil McCracken, but somehow I blame Mexican Iron Man. This is probably some sort of mind game that Mexican Iron Man is playing on me to get me less focused on the lightsaber duel. And Pacific 414 is right. What does God need with a starship? Do you doubt me? I doubt any god that causes pain for pleasure. Or something like that. Coach's Archive says, yes, Phil and I are anti-little fake mustaches. But then again, my little mustache is okay, right? Right? I know what you guys are gonna say. Alright. I'm getting too distracted. Pacific. You know, to be fair, Pacific, if I was gonna blame any guy named Mike, my first choice would be Michael, my brother. And Coach's Archive says C-. Talking about my mustache. Point taken. Point taken. But at least I have an equally C- beard to help cover it up. And that's what I get for being too distracted from the game. Alright, so I need to go there. Thank you, Leia Rose, for saying I have a nice stash. Alright. Phil McCracken says your stash is 30 times better than X-Wing. Okay, X-Wing, I will go on record and say that X-Wing has a better stash than me. Because at least his actually connects all the way across. Mine doesn't. I have a blank spot right here, if you can't see it. Alright, so there's that star. As soon as I'm done fighting Bowser, I'm going to, Did you see... You did see Coach made a video on X... I did not see that. I'm gonna look that up after we're done here. Spock's Friday Night said Mirror Spock has a nice stash. Yeah, he did. Full goatee with it. Alright, let's see. Too far to the left. I was a bit late. Leia Rose says, hey, Coach, I thought you were growing a stash. Phil McCracken mentioned that to me on the last EBN stream. You can get hurt from that? Alright, let's get it lined up. This should be an easy throw. There we go. But yeah, I'm surprised Bowser could hurt you like that, not even landing near you with his jumps, and take 3 hit points of damage from you. I thought that was only possible in the final battle where he's sending out those shockwaves. By the way, speaking of the Star Trek Mirror Universe, somewhere, it's gone missing, but somewhere for Christmas, I got from Jonathan a Funko Pop. Where is it? I got a Funko Pop of Mirror Universe Captain Kirk. And I wish it was sitting like right here on my speaker, but I can't find where it went, so I'll show it when I can find it. Alright, now down to the basement to get the invisible cap. Leia Rose says that must be Mirror Phil McCracken from the Star Trek universe. I don't think it's that simple, Leia Rose. I think if anything, Phil McCracken is like Q or General Trelane. He just shows up in random chats and just says the most random things, like hashtag Justice for Star Trek 5 or hashtag 2022, the year that X-Wing falls. Or hashtag Justice for Nick, which I still don't understand what that one means. Of course, Phil, I'm only kidding. Alright, so the basement is unflooded. Now let's get the Vanish Cap. Leia Rose mentioned on the picture they posted on YouTube, it should still be up. Pacific says perhaps he beamed himself back to the Mirror Universe. Who knows? Alright. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, so Phil McCracken says justice for Nick is that Nick does not get the credit and love he earned. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that. But then again, everyone does love Nick, including Omega. Oh, that was close. That was close. But yeah, like I was saying, everyone loves Nick, including Omega. Yep, Leia Rose says it right there. Omega loves Nick. Alright. Final coin, and get the star. Alright. So, now we got the invisible cap, so let's head back to the ghost level. That'll make that level go by much quicker, especially on that first star. And then after we get the first level of the ghost world, I think we're going to switch gears a little bit, and I'm going to show you guys one of these, okay, hold on. I gotta read this. A 6-year-old girl does not love Omega and called it the ugliest thing she ever seen. Okay? And Spock says, congrats on 300 subs. Yes, thank you, man, and thank you guys for helping the Star Wars guys get that far. Tomorrow night, 9 o'clock in place of Tuesday Night Trek, we're going to have our 300 sub celebration, and it's going to be a chill stream, and it's going to be an open mic night. Anyone can pop in, and we can really just talk about anything. So, let's go around and go in through the back door of the house. This, by the way, is one of the easiest stars. Sorry, one of the easiest levels to... Oh, shoot. I just realized. The invisible cap is on the other side of that wall. So, it looks like we're going to have to run all the way back around again. Phil McCracken says, that's a quote from my 6-year-old granddaughter. Okay, fair enough. Well, your granddaughter does have a point. Omega is certainly an acquired taste that some people just don't acquire, and that's okay. Me personally, I'm overall neutral on Omega. She is certainly not my favorite character, but I don't hate her. She's just there to me. Now, that being said, if they actually develop her character further than what we see in the Bad Batch and make her interesting, as they did for Ahsoka, I'd be cool with it. I got you a book. So that's where the invisible cap was, but I don't need it anymore. And of course, the piano, we all know about the piano. So let's go here. Glenn Schroeder says, did you check out my band? Yes, I did, and I really liked what I heard, man. Be careful, Phil. She may not be Matt Rissman, but she does have a wrench. Alright, and now to take on the big guy. By the way, Jonathan, are you still listening? Phil McCracken says, one day I will get you to do another Star Trek V watch party. I already said I would, man. I don't know when yet, but yeah, I'd be willing to give that movie a second look. It's just a question of whether the other guys on Tuesday Night Trek would be willing to do it. Alright, let's switch gears now, and I'm going to show you guys a different Mario 64 game. So this is something fan-made that a guy by the name of Skellux came out with, I believe, in 2009, and it's called Super Mario Star Road. So let's get that loaded in. So it's all completely new levels, all new songs, well, songs remixed for this game from other places, new assets. It's really cool. Phil McCracken says, handing tools to person doesn't mean they know how to use it. Did you not watch the X-Wing video on him trying to make a knife? I popped on long enough to give a like and say hey. Alright, Yoshi's here. He's going to say something. He says, hi Mario, it's great to see you again, but I have some bad news. Bowser learned the secret of reaching the world of the Star Spirits, and he set up a base there. The big problem is that he now has access to a whole heap of Star Road portals, which lead all over the Mushroom Kingdom. He's been using them to transport swarms of his troops, and they're causing chaos all over the place. Mario, if you are going to stop Bowser, you will need to use the Star Road at the top of Star Leap Tower to find him. Bowser has sealed all the doors leading up to the tower, but you should be able to break through them if you can collect enough power stars to break the seals. Good luck. So, different goal that Bowser has, but essentially the same type of gameplay. And by the way, I like doing that jump. Where, excuse me, gotta collect stars to unlock doors. But the worlds are all different. And the way you get into them is different, too. Also, if you notice, Mario, the red parts of him are a slightly different color than what he was in the previous game. It's more of a faded red. I've never understood why Skelix decided to do it that way, but he did. Pacific 414 says, maybe I watch Star Trek V again if I had a bottle of scotch. Whiskey! Well, I will try it. I'll get it! That's one of the best. I think that is the best scene from Scotty in Star Trek. Alright. Now you'll notice right off the bat, because here is King Babam, who was the first star in the original game, but he's going to be harder. You again? Are you following me or what? Well, you better prepare yourself for a tough battle if you think you're going to take my Power Star again, because I'm not going to go easy on you this time. Please. Now watch, he moves faster than he did in the last one, but of course you can still jump over him with a side jump. And I believe he takes... Oh, you throw him faster, and he turns faster. And I believe it takes 4 throws this time instead of 3. Oh, he got me. Oh, no. Whoa, that was a glitch. Hello to Woopa Troopa, who says, oh man, it's Mario from the famous video game Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Yeah, I tried that game once, but I just couldn't get into it. Something a bit weird about a Mario first-person shooter with these weird-looking rabbit things. But then again, the Broodals in Mario Odyssey look weirder. Phil McCracken says, Jim, you don't ask the Almighty for an ID. And no, you don't. But you have not answered his question. What does God need with a starship? Too short. Let's try that again. I promise I'm not messing up on purpose. So, by the way, if anyone is interested in trying out this game for themselves, let me know on Discord, just DM me, and I will send you the link to download this. It comes with Project 64, which is the program I'm using to run this. And it should be pretty self-explanatory how to set it up. Oh, come on. Alright, that was me looking at the chat when I should have been looking at the game. Woopa Troopa says, yeah, Rabbids sucked, ruined Rayman for a while there. I've never played a Rayman game. In fact, I'll be honest, I don't even know what Rayman is. So, here's the thing. We all know of my infamous list, the movies I've never seen before. You would be equally shocked at the games I've never played. Let's try this again. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to start all the way over. Woopa Troopa says, congratulations on 300 sub sandwiches for you. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And like I said, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern, we're going to be having a special chill stream. And we're going to go with it. Phil McCracken says, can you download Shadows of the Empire? Yeah, I think I have it on Steam. I don't think it's installed, but I can certainly get it and play it. Again, never played it before, but I would certainly give it a shot. Woopa Troopa says, "Oh man, Rayman is pretty fun, but it's been a while since I played any." So, like, what's Rayman about? Is it all about those weird rabbit things, or is there something else to it? Pacific 414 says, "Would love to see that list one day." Yeah, that's going to be... We could almost devote an entire stream to that, kind of like what we did with the movie one. So, we'll see what happens. All right, back in... Actually, no. We're gonna tackle some secret stars that are out here on the grounds. So first we gotta go back here into the corner. Okay, so I gotta try and scale this hill. Because up on that rooftop there's a cannon that can launch me to a certain little crevice in the tower there that's in the middle of the structure. And there's a secret star there. And trust me, it never takes me... I've never done this in one shot, so we might be here for a while. But hopefully we get it right. Oh, that close. Let me try a different strategy. Leirose says, "Phil, are you Cybok's twin?" There we go, we got it. Now let's just see if I can make the shot. Let's see, Woopa Troopa says, "Nah, Rayman doesn't have anything to do with the Rabbids, but they were introduced later in the series. Kind of like what Skylanders did to Spyro. Don't know if that's also... It is. Never played Spyro, never played Skylanders." You're probably gasping in horror. Alright, let's see if I got this right. Nope. That's a botch. I am too high, so let's try again. And hail to Green Lantern. How you doing? By the way, Green Lantern, if the game I'm playing looks a little bit different to you, this is a Super Mario 64 ROM hack called Super Mario Star Road. So, entirely new levels, entirely new designs, entirely new music, all based off the Super Mario engine. And of course, y'all are sharing the whole Beans Magical Fruit rhyme in there. You bunch of kindergartners. I'm kidding. Trust me, Woopa Troopa, a lot of the people that have been watching us since the beginning, you're not the first. They're probably saying to you, "Welcome to the club." Woopa Troopa says, "I have a list too. I didn't get to play lots of games because of me needing to budget my Christmas and birthday money. I'm getting there, though. My free money is devoted to video games." Nice. See, we're working on it. All right. Almost had it. I think just get a little bit higher and to the right, and I'll get it. I'm hitting that third jump a little bit too late. I was trying a trick there called the jump kick glitch, where you can, like, literally do this over and over, and, it's able to get you up really steep inclines. I've never been able to do it, though. And Woopa Troopa says, I don't know your movie list, but would love to see it. My list is pretty ghastly, I must say. I was definitely video game first growing up. I think my list might even make you upset. That would be a surprise. Because things like that, it takes a lot for me to get upset. So, Woopa Troopa, I feel like we need to talk a little bit more, like offline. Almost had it. And yes, Green Lantern is right. Old school is where it's at, plus playing retro. A lot of the games, the hard copies, unless they're like in like perfect mint condition, you can find them for like $10, something that's been gently used. Like, I'll say this real quick, support your local game stores that aren't named GameStop. Like, if you can find a place, like, there's a place across the mountain from where I live called Monster Games that dabbles in all the vintage stuff as well as some of the new stuff too. And anytime I have a game I want to get rid of that I don't think GameStop will take, I go to them, and they always take it. And let's see if I can do a good impersonation of Matt Cave here. And remember, keep retro gaming alive, because one day, your games will be retro too. How'd I do? Did I get it? Oh, almost! Just right on the lip. Alright, we're gonna do something else, because I don't want you guys to just sit here and watch me scale that hill all the time. So we're gonna do a different star, but it's in the same area. It's down that pipe. Green Lantern said, my movie list would put you all to shame, as in the ones I haven't seen. I think you and I and Woopa Troopa are going to have to do a comparison. Like we should make a stream about that, or like a pre-recorded something where we get together and talk about what movies we haven't seen. That would break a whole bunch of people. We just need to make sure that when we do that, people like Matt Cave and Daryl and Mexican Iron Man and Coach and all them, basically anyone who was there at when my list was made, they need to be there too, just so we can get their reactions. Because that's... Oh, shoot. Let's see if I can get that again. There should be a way that you are able to make this jump. I just haven't been able to do it without outside help. Shoot! I was too far forward. Okay, you know what? We're going to do this the way that I know works, which involves going halfway up this mountain. Pacific says it would get views. Oh, yeah, let's do it. So, if Woopa Troopa and Green Lantern, if you guys are up for this, I'm sure we can get together in Discord and talk out the particulars. And Woopa Troopa says, heck yeah, Paul, we should collab on stuff. Absolutely, man. So, I will... Green Lantern says, where did Paul go? I thought this was the Star Wars Guys channel. Didn't know I switched to Matt K's channel. Well, I think, by the way, hello to the Admiral, Nerdporial. Thanks for joining. And real quick, Nerdporial, This actually is not Super Mario 64. This is a Super Mario 64 fan game called Star Road. And if I knew how to get you in Streamlabs OBS with me... Wait a minute, I know how to get you in Streamlabs OBS with me. I'm going to start a voice call with you. So, I know the game froze. That's just me switching windows. Where are you? There you are. Alright, so, if you want, I am starting a voice call with the Nerdporeal Lifeform. Pacific says, I haven't seen the Lord of the Rings trilogy or the Hobbit trilogy until this year. My goodness. Hold on a second. Gotta get, inputs.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I just had to switch up my settings. What's up, man?
Oh, not much. I saw you were playing Mario 64, and then all of a sudden I see water. I see a catwalk. I'm like, this is not Mario 64.
Yep,
I remember that Mushroom Mountain level.
This is a Mario 64 fan game called Star Road. So it's a ROM.
Star Road.
Yeah, it's a ROM hack that came out in 2009 by a YouTuber by the name of Skellux. And whenever I get bored of the actual Mario 64, I come play this or other ROM hacks, and it's amazing. In fact, in some ways, it's actually harder than the original game.
Yeah, it doesn't look easy. Teeter's harder, but at least you don't die when you fall. You just land in the water.
True, but trust me, it gets way, and I mean way, worse than this.
Wow. So is this the first? So is it like the same hub and everything?
No, it's all pretty much the only thing that stays the same is Mario himself, although his colors look a little bit different. You'll notice it's a bit more of a faded red. And
yeah.
The physics are the same, but other than that, everything's different.
So is this the standard screen size 4x3?
This is a windowed version that is easier for me to pick up the game on Streamlabs for.
I hate those Monty moles. They were annoying in Super Mario World. They're annoying in this.
Yeah. There we go. That's what I needed to do.
So it always gave me great pleasure to ride Yoshi and eat those darn things.
Yeah.
This looks pretty cool. I'll
Mr.
have to admit.
So it says Mr. Poriel is a little low on the volume. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna up the desktop audio, but I'm gonna lower the game volume.
Ooh. Can you go inside?
No, you cannot. Not in this level.
Aw, man.
So that's
the one thing I liked about Banjo-Kazooie was that there were places you can go inside of. Like there was just so much to each of the levels.
Yeah, there's another fan-made game called Super Mario 64: The Green Stars that's even harder than this one, and it does have a level that's outside but does have buildings you can go in. I might play that on stream one day. If I'm feeling
the Green Stars, so I'm guessing based off of Super Mario Galaxy's 2's, it's basically like a second quest. You go back in the levels, and you have to look for these green stars. I actually really like that. That's why I prefer Galaxy 2 over Galaxy 1.
I've only just barely played Galaxy 2.
Great game.
Yeah, I'd love to play it from beginning to end. I've played Mario Galaxy 1 from beginning to end. And by that I mean beating Bowser. I've never gotten 120 stars on it. But
yeah, I tried replaying Galaxy 2, and I just couldn't get the final star. Like there's this like Grandmaster Galaxy where you have to play it, but with one single life.
Oh yeah.
I never could beat it. It is insane.
You notice that a lot of the modern day Mario games have that final level that's supposed to be like the ultimate test. And
yeah.
it's supposed to be completely unforgivingly hard, that game started that trend with that level.
Yeah, I never completed. I mean, Super Mario Odyssey is so big compared to every other Mario game. I never even bothered trying to complete it. Like I completed the main mode and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but then after you beat it, after you beat Bowser and stuff, the main story mode, then it unlocks a whole bunch of other stuff, a whole bunch of
Right.
other challenges to do, and like the races are pretty tough. Like you have to race a bunch of Koopa Troopas
Yeah.
in that one, kind of like in this game. Well, Mario 64, but much harder because they actually run.
Oh yeah, you gotta race Koopa Troopas in this one too, and the races are much harder. I've beaten this game all the way through, except for the final level, which is another one of those brutal gauntlets you gotta run.
Is it
But
the same Koopa the Quick?
yes, in fact, he's here in this level. I'm just not going after that star.
Yeah, I think Koopa the Quick he was in the first level, the bomb level, and he was also in the big and small world level too.
See, here he is right here, but I'm not going for that star yet.
Where is that, on the top of the mountain?
No, this was at the bottom. And this was actually one of the castle secret stars.
You know how many times I tried to jump? Like I think if you get the red coins in the mountain level, the star appears on one of the mushrooms.
Right?
I always try to jump on it, and I always end up missing and I'm falling to my death.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
but then again, there's like a wind gust that will like pick you up, and I think will propel you upwards.
Right. So basically, here's the new main hub in place of the castle. It's a big tower that eventually climbs all the way up to the heavens. Here's the World 1 painting, some doors that you unlock. That's the first Bowser level, except you don't fight Bowser in there. And then this big vase over here, that's World 2. And then there is a pipe out here in the gardens that goes to World 3.
Interesting. This
And
looks very, this looks very, that's one thing I did notice about original Mario 64 was that there wasn't enough, like, what would I call it? There wasn't enough star doors. Like, you had, like, you had your 8, or you had your Bowser doors, where the door opens like a grocery store, the star door.
right?
But there wasn't a lot of doors that had, like, oh, you need, like, 20 stars, 25 stars, 30 stars to get in. Once you got to, like, the lower level and the upper level, it was just basically you could go wherever you wanted.
Exactly.
Whatever painting was.
All right, we're gonna go back in here and race against Koopa the Quick. But yeah, I can certainly see what you're saying with that. And if you are interested in actually trying out this game, man, I can send you the link to it in Discord.
Yeah, so you're playing this on your PC?
Yes, this is on Project 64.
Interesting.
The only thing I would recommend, if you have one, use a USB N64 controller. That's what I'm using. Get up there.
Okay. I did play a ROM hack version of Super Mario World called Super Mario World Return to Dinosaur Land. Not too long ago, I actually streamed it a while back. And that's basically a harder version of Super Mario World.
Yeah, so same concept here pretty much. Those Monty Moles. I understand why you don't like them.
Yeah, this jerk, the laws of physics don't apply to him. He can just run up.
Thank God for that.
Keep going.
Oh
keep going,
no! Don't throw me off. Thank God.
Yeah, he's going pretty quick.
Yeah, like I said, the races are harder, and now the star appears at the top of the pole. Don't you do it. You son of a no-no word.
Oh, you got it. You got it. Oh, the wind. Dun, 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 dun. There you go.
Green Lantern says, just curious, Paul, can you see yourself or you just see the game? I see myself. I actually
It's called self-awareness.
yes, I actually see myself double
Oh,
because
that jerk.
I have my
Oh no,
Streamlabs
no.
feed here, and I'm looking at my iPad too. That way I can monitor stream quality. And yes, Woopa Troopa says Koopa got them Yeezys. Which, honestly, I don't understand the appeal behind those. To me, unless they're Crocs or Heelys, a shoe is a shoe. Did you ever own a pair of Heelys, Brian?
No, I don't even know what those are.
It's those shoes that were really popular in the mid to late 2000s, where you have a tiny wheel implanted in the heel of the shoe. And
What is it called again?
Heelys, Heelys. People in the chat, let me know if you guys had a pair of those growing up.
No.
It's literally shoes with built-in wheels that you can skate on. But of course you could remove the wheels too and wear them like normal shoes. I
might have seen them around, but no, I've never worn them. I'm pretty plain when it comes to shoes, and I refuse to wear Nikes.
Understandable. Yeah,
But like I've been really digging loafers lately. I don't like to tie my shoes, but I realize I need shoes. If I want to run, I need to wear proper gym shoes, so I need to buy shoes with laces again. I don't think I've tied my shoe in a couple years.
Oh, here we go. Let's see if I can make this shot. Green Lantern. Yes, technically I do have 2 monitors, if you count my iPad as the second monitor. And Green Lantern says, I remember Heelys. I never had them, though. Woopa Troopa says, I never had them, but I know people who did. I had 2 pairs, and they were fun. Let's see. Phil McCracken says, well, I'm off to play New World before bed. Catch you later. See you later, man. By the way, Nerporial, Phil McCracken was in chat earlier suggesting we do another Star Trek V watch party. Would you be down for that?
Sure. Sure.
I think he just wants to watch it with us so that he can convince us why it's actually a good movie.
Well, I don't have any. I really don't have a whole lot of problems with Star Trek V. I mean, I understand some of the complaints, and it is not as good as the other ones, but I don't hate it. I don't even dislike it.
Me neither.
I find it endearing, in my opinion.
Me neither. It's a mess to laugh at. It's not painfully bad. It's so bad it's good.
Yeah, I could do that. I could agree with that.
Yeah. Why is God angry?
I don't know. What does God want with a starship? I need my pain.
Yeah.
I need it. But that was actually, I liked DeForest Kelly did a really good scene where he's he has to deal with the fact that he has to make a decision whether to pull the plug on his father and stuff.
Mm-hmm. By the way, in this game, the friendly Bob-ombs are blue instead of pink.
Really?
Don't know.
Oh yeah, I see it.
I don't know why, but they just are.
Well. Also, the boxes look more like the classic question mark boxes instead of the checkered pattern. And I'm still playing Super Mario RPG. The Bob-ombs, like the harder Bob-ombs that you play later, that have pink shoes, but they still have the same black surface. They're called Rob-ombs. Instead of Bob-ombs, it's Rub-bombs instead.
Interesting. By the way, Pacific's in on that rewatch of Star Trek V. Don't worry, man. I will get you that bottle of very, very, very old scotch that you requested. Yeah, I'm thinking of thinking of doing a Thursday stream. Orville's coming back, and it's gonna be airing on it's gonna be dropping on Thursdays on Hulu. Okay. So I was thinking of doing an after show when it comes back in March. You guys are all invited if you guys decide to watch it. And before that, I was thinking of just doing like a Orville / Classic Trek discussion of just random episodes. So the only homework would be what episodes I want to talk about.
Yeah, I'm in.
So I was thinking of doing something like that. I'm not sure if I'm going to have, one guest like Spock does with his Trek talking, or I'm going to just have, a few people come on, a bunch of people come on at the same time.
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
You know what's funny? I tried playing the 3D All Stars version of Mario 64. The cannon is super duper sensitive. Like I have a hard time I just have a hard time aiming. Like if I push it tiny, it moves too much. I can't get it to pinpoint where exactly I want it to aim.
Yeah, not to mention certain moves that you could exploit in this game, like the backwards long jump or the jump kick glitch. Those got patched out, as well as So Long Gay Bowser.
I thought it was So Long Gee Bowser. Like he's saying, it was a cute way of saying so long. So long Gee Bowser, That's what I always thought. And then everyone's like, "Oh, it's gay Bowser." I'm like, I don't know.
I just say it to be funny. I know it's not really that. It's Mario's Italian accent.
So all he says is "bye bye, bye bye." I'm just like, it's not right. That was cool. That was a nice little, secret.
It was. By the way, Pacific says he's in for that Orville / Trek stream you got going.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what to call it. I don't know if I should call it Starporial or Trekporial or Teleporial. There's so many ideas, and I don't know. I have to really, figure that one out.
Or how about this? You could do something that plays on your identity as the Admiral.
Yeah.
Like the Admiral's Court or something.
The Admirals. That's not bad. I didn't think of that. I didn't think about that. Admiral. Yeah, that's my it's my name that I gave myself on my Discord because I thought it'd be funny.
And now you have
I'm taking it seriously now.
Yeah. I don't think there's any coins on top of this cage. Let me check.
So do you get a star for the 100 coins?
Yes. And I am one of those people that likes to do the 100 coins and the 8 red coins at the same time if possible.
Can you do that in Mario 64, or is that just in this, where you could just run around the log or the stump like that?
Oh, you can do it in this too. In fact, I just did it.
I mean in Mario 64.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
you can
actual
do that.
game.
You can do that.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be.
And
I had no idea.
It spits out 5 coins.
Yeah, this is gonna be. I'm doing. What's funny is, I came up with a jingle for my upcoming or my future Ocarina of Time retrospective, but I'm not gonna do that until after I do a retrospective for this game or for Mario 64 and for my next one, which is Mario RPG. So. I just thought of something and I just put it into. I thought of I thought of the themes I wanted to mix and how to open it, and I just kind of put it together. So
I have actually never played Mario RPG.
When I first played it, it blew my mind that you could play. You were aligning with Bowser and stuff. That I think I was 11. Yeah, I was 11, and the stakes are higher to the point where Bowser, teams up with you to save, the world. It's kind of like Smithy's kind of like Sauron. The villain Smithy's kind of like Sauron. He wants to turn the world into like an evil factory to manufacture nothing but weapons and stuff that's evil and toxic and stuff.
Interesting. And real quick.
And of course they steal Bowser's castle from him, which is the main reason why he joins you in the first place.
Funny.
But the game is very tongue-in-cheek, very self-aware, especially in all the dialogue. Mario, of course, is like traditional Nintendo heroes, is the silent protagonist.
Right.
But you get characters like Geno. I don't know if you ever heard of Geno, but Geno's in that game. Another character named Mallow who teams up with you, and of course they haven't been in any other games because they're Square created characters.
Oh, Square Enix made this.
Squaresoft, yeah, before
Wow.
they were Square Enix. So yeah, so you'll hear a lot of sound effects from like Final Fantasy 4, 5, 6, and even Chrono Trigger. That were, you know, games that came out around that time. So, but yeah, that was my gateway into playing turn-based RPGs. Was Super Mario RPG, believe it or not. I had no idea. I've never played an RPG before. It wasn't until years later where I finally played, you know, the classics like, you know, Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, and whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I've never really... I don't think I've ever really played a turn-based game like that before, unless you count Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic as that, which
yeah,
I don't like that combat system. I have it on the Switch, and I'm willing to give it another chance, but I can tell it's going to be painful.
It's a great, I think it's a great, I enjoyed playing it. I loved just the whole idea of choosing dialogue. It was the first time I ever played a game where you had to choose your own dialogue, your own path, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting. Like it made it replayable right away. So I played it, you know, as a good guy because I generally play as a good guy.
Me too.
Initially, but then I went complete bastard. Like I kept like, you know, instigating fights and stuff to the point where you killed, you know, you actually take out some characters by just being completely, you know, irrational and a jerk, and it was hilarious.
I'll be honest, I know it's a game, I know it's not real, I can't bring myself to do that.
No, it's not for everybody.
Yeah, like, give you another example. I have yet to actually play through the Dark Brotherhood quest in Skyrim. Because again, I just can't bring myself to break the law in that game, even though I know I'm not going to get in trouble in real life for doing
it. I prefer the Dark Brotherhood in Oblivion, believe it or not.
Yeah, that seems to be the general consensus.
Oblivion just felt like there was bigger stakes involved. Whereas in Skyrim, you're just, oh, you're going to assassinate the Emperor, and I played it, and it was, in my opinion, it was anticlimactic.
Right.
Ooh, wow, look at that, tight, nice little tight little.
Green Lantern says, have you ever played any Lord of the Rings RPGs? I did play a little bit of one on the GameCube. I believe it was called Lord of the Rings, The Third Age, and it was like a sort of... The best way I could describe it is, it's a story that's set during Fellowship, from the frame of while Frodo's off doing this and the Fellowship is doing this, these guys are doing this. And it also was a turn-based game. And funny enough, the game was so long or so packed with stuff, it needed 2 GameCube discs.
Really?
Yeah, I don't understand why.
I think I've heard of the game. I think I might have drawn a little bit of interest reading about it, but I've never gotten around to playing it. I actually have never played a Lord of the Rings game. My brother played Shadow of Mordor when it came out a few years ago.
I tried playing that, but got bored of it. It just, I can't really put my finger on what it was. It just didn't feel right to me. But if you're going to play any Lord of the Rings games, get your hands on an old copy of Lord of the Rings The Two Towers and Lord of the Rings Return of the King. It is, as far as like movie licensed games go, those are 2 of the best, because you play through all of the big battles from Two Towers, pretty much from all 3 of the movies, because the Two Towers game has...
Is it like a strategy, or is it like you play as a single character?
It's hack and slash. So...
Interesting.
The way the Two Towers game works is you play through a bunch of the different levels from Fellowship and Two Towers, so things like the Mines of Moria, Fangorn Forest, Helm's Deep, and you play through the campaign basically 3 times. Once as Aragorn, once as Legolas, and once as Gimli. And then the Return of the King game is the same concept, but now you have more characters. So you could play through Gandalf's story, where he defends Minas Tirith. I thought I could glitch through that thing. You could play as Frodo or Sam on their way to Mordor, or you could play as Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli as they go through the paths of the dead. And then especially in Return of the King, once you've played through all the levels, you can go back and you can go back and play through them with any character, even characters that weren't originally in that scenario. So, like, for example, taking Pippin, who you unlock after you've beaten the game, and taking him down the paths of the dead, or playing as Legolas at Cirith Ungol, things like that. And yes, Green Lantern is right. War in the North is good. I've played through that game.
One of these days I might play those, but this is not that day.
Understood.
I just had to say that.
Yeah. This is the day we fight! Stand, men of the West!
I love that. I generally that reminds me I have to watch Lord of the Rings. It's usually a holiday tradition for me. The question is, should I watch? Last year I watched The Hobbit as well. I watched the entire Middle Earth saga. I like the Hobbit movies despite the criticisms.
Me too.
And some of the criticisms I do understand, like especially the way they ended the second movie.
Like what are they criticizing about how they ended the second movie?
Well, the movie kind of just ends with the dragon just, leaving the mountain instead of us seeing him fight, or instead of us seeing the destruction of Lake Town.
Shoot. Did I mention I don't like this level?
This kind of looks like a combination of the Womp Fortress and the Rainbow level. At least it makes me think of that. The Rainbow level with the rainbow carpet?
Yeah. Funny enough, another level I don't like is that one.
Because it's like you're in the sky and stuff, and
Green Lantern says, "Shoot what? Didn't know they had guns in Lord of the Rings." True.
Certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Gimli. Gimli was always a delight to watch whenever he was on the screen.
Oh yeah, and of course
he grew. Legolas, they all grew. They were all great characters.
Yeah, he went from "I would be dead before I see the ring in the hands of an elf" to
and then he goes
I never thought I'd be dying side by side with an elf. What about side by side with a friend?
Yeah, I love that part. Yeah, this movie it touches on all the human aspects that make it epic, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right, now I'm going to try and beat this star in a way that's not intended. So the way you're supposed to do it is you have to have the metal cap activated, and the metal cap blocks make these tiny stepping stones that you have to get these really precise jumps on to make it across. But I'm going to try and do it without those.
So I'm guessing the Switch palaces are hidden in certain levels, like in Mario 64?
Correct. You know how in the metal cap in the original Super Mario 64, you have to
metal cap is in the underground maze level.
Yes.
If I remember.
But the rest of them can just be found around the castle. In this game,
the red one, I think you have to look up.
Yep.
You have to look up at the light, which I didn't figure out for a long time. I'm like, where the heck is this thing?
All right, go up here. Line this up. Ooh, too far to the left. And yes, Pacific 414 says John Rhys Davies was great in that role. He really was.
Anything John Rhys Davies was in was good. I mean, he played Sala in Indiana Jones, and I still haven't seen Sliders. He was in Sliders as the professor.
Never heard of that. He was
Slayer's
also...
a TV show where people go to different realities.
Ah. He was also the jealous uncle in Princess Diaries, too.
Princess Diaries.
Yeah, it was like the movie that pretty much gave... It put Anne Hathaway on the map.
Oh, she's the one that plays, what's her name? Selena Kyle in Dark Knight Rises.
Yes.
I think that's the only movie I've ever seen her in.
Yeah, I like her okay. She's not my favorite actress, though. In fact, I don't even know who I would... There we go. That's how you do it. I don't know who my favorite actress of all time would be. Heck, I don't know who my favorite actor of all time would be.
That's a very good question. It was,
Yeah. Green Lantern saying, so when are we doing our Lord of the Rings stream? Hopefully soon. In fact...
So if you did a Lord of the Rings review, would you do all? Would you do all three movies, or would you do a single movie? Because I think, from Tolkien's original intent, he wanted to publish Lord of the Rings as a single, novel.
Right.
And it was the publishers that made him split into three.
I think I would do it the same way I'm currently doing Harry Potter, where I'm going to review each movie individually. And yes, it will be the extended edition versions of everything.
I didn't know there was an extended version of Harry Potter.
Oh, no. I'm talking extended versions of Lord of the Rings.
Oh. What other edition is there?
Exactly. Same with The Hobbit. It'll be extended versions of that, too.
Like, I remember when the movies came out, like, it was like... Before I could buy them, it was like they didn't release the extended versions for like 11 months. So, like all the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies came out in December.
Yeah.
They didn't. The extended versions didn't come out till November of the following year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So until then, we were stuck with the home video versions of the theatrical releases.
Mm-hmm.
So when Return of the King came out, the first thing I noticed. I mean, I loved the movie, don't get me wrong, but the thing I noticed was it didn't follow up with Saruman.
No,
so that whole segment with Saruman getting his staff destroyed, and of course in this version, in this movie, they made him die he dies at the tower, at the Orthanc Tower, instead of in the Shire, like in the books.
Right.
There's no scouring of the Shire. So. And I like the way I actually like the way they ended him.
Me too. Instead of just in the theatrical version, we get the filth of Saruman is washing away.
I loved how Christopher Lee, like Peter Jackson asked Christopher Lee to like pretend that he was being stabbed. And they're try his best to pretend to be stabbed, and he's like, "Oh, you don't need me to pretend. I know exactly how it is."
Yeah,
because he fought in the war.
Yeah,
and he probably did stuff like he probably witnessed crap like that.
I heard a story more specific than that. It's along those lines, but it goes into more detail. Where when he gets stabbed in the back, Peter Jackson asks Christopher Lee to scream. But Christopher Lee, because he says no. If anything, it's like a gasp, not a scream, because it's, well, not to get too into detail, but he knew.
Yeah, So that just makes him even more awesome, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. In fact, now that I think about it, I don't know if I would call him my favorite, but certainly my most respected actor ever.
Well, I mean, from what I've read about him, from what I've heard, other people say about him, he comes off as even though he plays villains and stuff, and he might be, imposing and menacing and stuff. In real life, he was just, he was gracious. He was gracious, and he was gracious and fearless, in my opinion.
In fact, if I remember hearing correctly, he was the real-life inspiration to Ian Fleming when he was writing James Bond.
Yeah, he was related to. He's like a cousin of Ian Fleming, believe it or not.
And he was a direct descendant of Charlemagne.
Yeah.
We could pretty much do a whole video on the life of Christopher Lee, and it would be a long but well worth the watch type of video. If we were to really go into detail, like a retrospective on like what you do for your stuff, but just on Christopher Lee and his life.
Yeah, someone recently did a retrospective. A channel called Count Dankula recently did one on him, and it's actually really good. And that's where I got a lot of my information from just now. So, but yeah, Christopher Lee is like, oh, you could talk about him for hours. But like every movie I've seen him in, I've seen a lot of movies with him. He's always a villain. Return to Witch Mountain, he was a villain. Man with the Golden Gun, he was the villain.
And and one of the best Bond villains at that.
Scaramanga. Yeah, I honestly thought that his demise in Man with the Golden Gun was not worthy of him. Especially the way they built him up throughout the movie. Like he was someone that, could, I think Bond could have, put Bond through a real fight, but the thing was his death was very anticlimactic in my opinion. Bond just pretends to be a mannequin, just shoots him, and that's it.
Yeah.
I was just like, that's it? So
I guess they wanted to focus more on the whole island that he was going on, basically exploding because. Good night. Which one did you knock him out cold in?
It's an interesting view.
Yeah. And Woopa Troopa is right. He really was the international man of mystery. And he played my favorite dark side character in Star Wars.
Count Dooku?
Yeah, I love Count Dooku.
I met a man named Tyrannus on the moons of, Bogdan or something?
Yes.
Bogdan's a very Eastern European name.
Yeah, it is. Shoot! Hello, Spock. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, I messaged Spock about my proposal for I can't think of the science fiction talk thing, that will lead up to the Orville season 3. I just watched the first 4 episodes of season 2, and I'm just like, I forgot how good they are. I forgot how good they were.
Yeah.
Episode 5, I know I did not like when I first saw it, so maybe I'll lighten up on it, but I don't think I will. It was not a really well written episode.
Of the Orville?
Yeah, it had something to do with birthdays. Like this one planet they go to, they try to start relations with them, but two of the main characters have a birthday that's set on a date that is like an omen or something, so they get arrested for it. And they attempt a jailbreak. They kill a bunch of the guards that are holding them, and of course the Orville crew figures out how to keep it from being an omen anymore. They manipulate the stars or something, or the way the planet sees the stars, and then they just get released, and that's the end of the episode. I'm like, I don't think it would end that way. They killed a bunch of their guards.
Okay.
Like, that would warrant more consequence. There weren't even more consequences. Like, I honestly think that should have been a 2-parter.
I could see that. And real
quick,
that's
just my opinion.
Green Lantern, what the heck is #NNO? You've been saying it. X-Wing's been saying it. Coffee on Korriban's been saying it. What is NNO? It's driving me nuts. Aw.
No. So did you get a chance to see my Charlie Brown video?
Not yet.
I am going to do some more Charlie Brown or Peanuts reviews. Definitely want to do. Have you ever seen The Boy Named Charlie Brown, the first theatrical film of Peanuts and stuff? The one that came out in the 60s, I believe?
I can't remember if I had.
That's the one where he is in the spelling bee. He goes to like a national spelling bee.
Interesting.
And then, of course, Linus gives him his blanket, And so Charlie Brown's like, okay, I'll take your blanket. Then Linus starts going through withdrawal symptoms because he doesn't have his blanket. So Snoopy goes with him, and they have to follow him to the spelling bee.
Yeah.
And Snoopy has this little instrument. It's called a Jew's harp, which is basically that it goes ding 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 ding, something like that.
Okay. Green Lantern says NNO means need new oxide. I don't believe you. Because why in the world would X-Wing and Coffee on Korriban, if he did, why would he be saying that? I think it means something else, and you're holding something
Covering.
out on us.
Maybe it's a new improv that Mr. Gadgets and Goggles is trying to do.
I don't think it's that, because X-Wing started it.
So X-Wing started saying it in chats and stuff, or
Yeah, and then a whole bunch of different people just started picking it up.
hashtag NNO.
Yeah. Like, if I knew what it was, I'd help you guys promote it, seriously.
Maybe it's maybe it's just maybe I just think the world revolves around me. Maybe it's need Nerporial online. Okay, no.
Perhaps. Alright, there's a red coin up here.
But yeah, Rob basically said he said the best way to talk to him is to send him a DM on Twitter, or to send him that email.
Okay.
So
yeah, I will definitely get on that tomorrow. What I'm thinking is, let's ask him for either Wednesday or Thursday, whichever one of those two that he can do, and we just do a Tuesday Night Trek double dose that week.
yeah, because I feel like I said this in the chat, or in the Discord, that I feel like if we're gonna have like a special guest star, it should revolve around him and stuff.
Yeah.
And plus, I'd love to hear, like, we'll each have questions and stuff to ask him and stuff.
Right. Of course, all my stories are just going to be revolved around, hey, basically, what sort of stories do you have from your life as a Trek fan?
Oh yeah. He's been a Trek fan longer. I mean, he's obviously been a Trek fan longer than I've been alive. Like, he's been I think he's been a fan since he was a real little kid and stuff in the early 70s.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I think he's like in his mid-50s, so he was probably born around the time the first season of TOS or second season came out. So, and I don't know if his family was fans of it or something, but me, it was different. I got into it because I got into Star Wars, and there was only 3 movies for Star Wars, so, and Star Trek was everywhere around that time, so I just started watching Star Trek. There were 2 shows on, and I started renting the movies and stuff, and so I just got interested. And TOS really interested me because of just the way it looked.
Yeah, I can.
I like the characters.
Now, I'll say this: of what I've seen of what I've seen of TNG, I like the way that looks too. I'm not gonna say it's outright better, but it's different in an equally enjoyable way.
And that first season's very 80s.
I've noticed. And speaking of that, by the way, Brandon said this in our Discord too. How you and him are having trouble looking back on TNG due to current events. And basically the suggestion I have for that is, if you can't, I understand, but if you can, try and put yourself in my shoes, where you're watching it for the first time, and literally anything past TNG, Voyager, DS9, Enterprise, all that, especially Discovery and Picard, basically all of that in my mind doesn't exist yet.
I am surprised to hear I'm surprised to hear Spock say this. My favorite season from TNG is season 1.
Just because he adores
I figured
80s
his favorite
cheese.
season would be the season he appears in, season 5, with Unification Part 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Alright.
I don't know, our guy Spock is very he's got a very unique take, and I like it. But I think my favorite season of TNG would probably be it's somewhere between seasons 3, 4, and 5. Those to me are the peak. And then it kind of regresses a little bit in seasons 6 and 7.
Okay.
Because season 7 in particular, season 6 and 7 stop really following story arcs, or they stop following up episodes from previous seasons, and they make it more episodic.
Okay. Which, that by itself, I don't understand. I'm sure I'll understand more when I see it, but that doesn't sound like a inherently bad thing to me, because that's what TOS did.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the episodes were not that good either.
Understandable.
Like, especially season 7. Season 6 had some decent episodes. Like, there's a great 2-parter called Chain of Command, where it involves the Cardassians. That was a great 2-parter. And I'll tell you, David Warner, who plays Chancellor Gorkon in Star Trek 6, he comes back as a Cardassian. I won't tell you what his role is, but it's
okay.
It's a very memorable one. Him and Patrick Stewart, like, together, was some of the best scenes in TNG, in my opinion.
Oh, wait a minute, I can't do this star yet. Alright, moving on elsewhere. Let's see. Pacific 414 says Season 3 is my favorite. Okay.
Yeah, Season 3 has a lot of great episodes. It has freaking Sins of the Father, a Worf episode. It has Yesterday's Enterprise, which is, I'll just say, reality changes.
Okay.
Sarek. There's an episode called Sarek where we see Sarek again for the first time.
Cool.
In the 24th century.
Padawanabe says, I'm glad to admit that I was able to enjoy them all as they came out. Good for you. Woopa Troopa says, I think talking about what I said about Picard and Discovery, it's like the sequel trilogy. I can still watch the original trilogy, but I can't watch Vader kill the Emperor and not think about the Rise of Skywalker abomination. And
when I see the end of, like, Return of the Jedi and you see, like, Han hugging Leia and stuff, you know what I think about? I think about his son murdering him.
Yeah,
and
trust me, I do too.
I mean, that's why I came out of the theater so angry when I saw The Force Awakens. Everybody loved it for some reason. I'm like, they murdered the character. His son murders him. It's a horrible end for a character like that.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine them doing that to Spock in Wrath of Khan? Giving him a horrible death like that?
Especially knowing what sort of death he does get.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous.
Like, I left that theater upset. Like, and then we didn't even see Luke. And then the thing I realized is they killed him and we didn't even get to see Luke yet. So that means there's not going to be a reunion between the three.
Mm-hmm.
And I came to that realization and it made me even more angry.
Yeah. I understand what you're talking about.
So, I mean, Last Jedi did not have that same effect on me. I actually didn't even dislike The Last Jedi when I first saw it. It was after the second time I saw it, I was like, oh, none of this makes any sense. And that Admiral Holdo's not a good... Admiral Holdo's a horrible character. And they did nothing with Luke. They literally did nothing with him.
Mm-hmm. Now compare that to Spider-Man No Way Home or Ghostbusters Afterlife.
I think Spider-Man did a better job with it than Ghostbusters, because Ghostbusters, they appear at the very, 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 very end.
Right.
And then they kind of take over after that, whereas the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, they come in roughly the middle of the movie, maybe a little bit later than the middle, but roughly in the middle of the movie, and so they have enough time to have their arcs talked about, and it felt like a true follow-up.
It did.
without going into spoilers.
And
And
real
and they
quick,
were
shout out to Everest Productions for joining us.
isn't he a lord of something? He's a lord, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's also a
Lord of
He's also a helmsman.
he's a lord. Lord of something. I need to learn some of his video techniques. Like
Lord.
him and Spock are like up there and like top tier. Like they know how to make videos.
Oh,
and
I'm sorry,
thumbnails and
Padawannabe.
stuff.
I did not be okay. No more talking about Spider-Man. Padawannabe has not seen it.
Well, I didn't say anything in particular. I just said my thoughts and stuff. If anything, it should make you more excited because they actually have stuff to do.
Right.
And to the point where it makes me want to rewatch not only the three Spider-Man movies, but also the original '90s cartoon.
And of course the Andrew movie. Wait, sorry. Forget that I said that. All right, where am I going?
But I'll tell you, since we got into the Star Wars talk, after I saw Rise of Skywalker, and realized what that movie did, I got rid of all my sequel trilogy stuff. I got rid of anything Disney related because it destroyed Darth Vader's character arc, in my opinion. Him taking out the Emperor, and like I thought they were going to have a reason to bring the Emperor back and maybe perhaps bring Vader back to a degree to take him out once and for all, but they didn't do that.
Yeah.
And I watched Revenge of the Sith after seeing the sequel trilogy, and you know what the first thing I thought was when Yoda fails to defeat Palpatine?
What?
It's too bad Rey wasn't there with her second lightsaber. There would have been no Empire.
Yeah.
She would have taken him out single-handedly. And would have been the bestest ever, as a certain lord would always says about the certain female characters that are made now.
You're right. I think what it ultimately boils down to with me, and this is kind of the same thing as how I look at just why I'm able to watch TNG with a clear conscience, knowing what's ahead with Picard. I guess ultimately I'm just more of a forgiving person, which I understand that not everyone's going to be like that, and I'm not criticizing.
I mean, I rewatched some episodes myself not too long ago. I rewatched episodes like The Drumhead and The Defector, which are some of the best in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, I haven't had a big problem with that, but it's just, but this was like 6 months ago. And then I see all the stuff that, LeVar Burton's been saying and Marina Sirtis. I'm like, oh, I don't even want to see these people on screen. But then again, their characters were never my favorite anyway, so maybe I can handle it.
Yeah. I think what it is that people in general need to relearn how to separate an actor from their character. And I'll be honest with you right now, I had to do that with Luke in the sequel trilogy and in The Mandalorian. Because without going into too much detail, don't go look at his Twitter.
Oh, I know where I know where Mark Hamill stands.
Yeah, and on that same note, don't go look at George Takei's Twitter. He's even worse.
He's worse. He's way worse. And Will Wheaton is just crazy.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? But I don't really have that problem. Like I can watch, and I know a lot of people probably won't feel differently, but I can watch Roman Polanski stuff. Like one of his movies is one of my all-time favorites, called The Pianist. It's a movie about a piano player, Jewish piano player in Poland.
Yeah.
That loses his family. His family's taken away, and he's lucky that he didn't, get taken away with them. So he's basically trying to hide from the Nazis and stuff. And anybody that complains, anybody that complains that their life is hard, watch that movie. It'll change your perspective right away. But and this is where it gets weird because Polanski did his crime in the 70s, same year as Star Wars came out, and this Pianist movie came out years after the fact. So, I mean, it's a tough one. I love that movie, but at the same time, I believe in justice too. So it's a weird little, you know, conflict.
Right.
Because I feel it's a story that really needs to be told, that people need to, understand. But at the same time, he did a horrible thing,
Yeah.
an unspeakable thing.
And you know what I think is the root cause? One of the, I'm not going to say the root cause, but one of the major contributors to why it is so hard these days to separate the art from the artist: social media. Because
Yep,
before
you're
literally,
totally right.
because before everyone had access to literally everyone's every single thought, we didn't know what people's political opinions were from Hollywood unless they came out in an interview and said it. Now,
Like everybody knew, John Wayne was a Republican
yeah,
because he always came out and said it back in the day.
yeah. But
The
now,
majority of actors, yeah.
but now, everyone has access to Twitter or whatever social media of your choice, and they can say literally whatever they want from behind a screen with little consequences.
And they think because they're celebrities and stuff, they think they feel that if they say what they want, there's not going to be any consequences because, hey, I'm famous, people
Right.
love me anyways,
Yeah.
which is a poor attitude to have. Ooh,
Real quick, Padawannabe says, but I thought Polanski ran and avoided his punishment. I don't know anything about that.
yeah, he fled to France, and there's no extradition law, there's no extradition agreement with France, so they can't get him. But the moment he steps back in the United States, he'll be arrested
Right.
and charged. So yeah, he's been all of his movies he's made over in Europe. So
Yeah. And I like what what Mr. Crit says here. He says, always separate the actor from the character. I'm sure Riker and all those characters would have their different opinions than the ones who portray them. Yeah.
I still like the characters. It's just the actors. Except maybe Picard. Picard became. I don't like what Picard ultimately became, but I like Picard in TNG, and even the movies. I like Picard for the most part.
And like I said, all that stuff that comes after TMG, at least as of right now, to me, doesn't exist.
Yeah, TNG. Patrick Stewart didn't have a say in what his character would be. In the movies, he did have a say, so they turned him into an action / he liked to drive those buggies, like he drives one in Star Trek Nemesis and stuff. So, and of course Picard, he's one of the main producers, so he decided to make Picard an apologetic weakling.
Well, like I said, none of that exists for me yet, so I'm just going to enjoy TNG as we go through it.
Yeah, I think I told you. I think I've said so many times on the chats and the streams that it was Picard that really broke my interest in New Trek. So I was giving Discovery seasons 1 and 2. I gave Discovery season 1 a chance. I gave season 2 a chance, despite the fact that season 2 violated canon to the point where even I noticed.
How badly?
Even where I had a problem with it. And I usually don't have a problem with canon violations as long as
I don't mind.
As long as
I don't mind if you spoil it. What happened?
Well, you've seen the original series, right?
Yeah.
There's a point now. This Discovery show takes place like 10 years before the original series.
Yes.
So there's a final battle that takes place at the end of season 2, and this Discovery ship, along with the Enterprise, manages to have thousands of drones and shuttle pods that act as a defense against a bunch of multiple starships being controlled by some AI, some evil AI guy or something. They call it Control.
Interesting.
And just that idea did not make any sense because Enterprise only had like maybe 3 or 4 shells at the most.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have thousands of pods and fighters and whatnot, so none of that made any sense to me.
Yeah, I can... It would be like seeing the Millennium Falcon have more than one escape pod. Oh wait.
And they made Spock, like they introduced Spock with a new actor that season, and they made him dyslexic and completely dependent on the main character, Michael Burnham. So the main reason why Spock is the great, reason why Spock becomes the great Leonard Nimoy Spock is because of Michael Burnham. Like, she literally says to Spock, find the person that you are the furthest from. Obviously foreshadowing Kirk, to the point where it was just freaking annoying. I'm like, just stop already.
Yeah, that's... I know that Brandon especially has been trying to steer me away from that, but I've made up my mind. I will be taking I will be taking Tuesday Night Trek into New Trek. You guys do not have to do it with me if you don't want to. I won't force you to.
It's gonna be painful.
Well,
because they keep making it, and I don't recognize it as Star Trek.
Well, the way I see
And
it,
the reason why me, Spock, Pacific like the Orville is because the Orville resembles Star Trek more.
And I can see that. What little of it that I've seen.
The Orville ship is a character, just like the Enterprise and the Voyager and Deep Space Nine and the NX Enterprise from Enterprise. Well, maybe not Enterprise. I don't remember that ship being featured in the opening, but Orville features the ship, just like the TOG featured the ship. New Trek is just so interested in showing different versions of recreations of the Starfleet Delta, and they can't design new starships if their lives depended on it. Like, the Discovery is a flat, ugly ship. The only good-looking ship in Discovery was the Enterprise. And even the Enterprise didn't quite match up to how it was supposed to look.
Interesting.
And then Picard, oh my gosh. Picard, they had a fleet that was copied and pasted, and that looked ugly too. Everything looked flat and edgy and didn't have the detail or the gravitas that the traditional Starfleet ships did. And I'm not even an expert on this. Spock and Pacific know more about starships than I do.
Spock is saying, I'll come on for the first episode, Paul, but don't think I'll watch the entire series. Like Brian says, it's painful. I believe you, but I have a high tolerance to that sort of pain.
Well, you were in the Navy, so
yeah.
I was not. I'm a pure civilian, so I don't have that. I'm not made of. I'm just a piece of meat.
Don't think of yourself like that, man. You are.
I'm kidding. I'm pretending I'm a new recruit right now in the military.
Another thing that Spock just mentioned is that he says that in Picard, Jean-Luc Picard's reputation is somehow forgotten.
Yeah, he goes to Starfleet. He goes to Starfleet Command, and they don't recognize him. Like it's like they don't recognize, the people don't recognize him, and he has to they literally ask him for his ID. And I'm just like everybody knows Picard. Like, he's famous, just like Kirk was. He's a legendary captain.
Whoopa Troopa says, I'll be honest, this is like you're speaking French to me.
Well, Picard is French. He's from Le Bar, from from the town of Le Bar, France. Where the Chateau Picard is.
Alright, where is this last coin? Because I think I'm gonna get this last coin, this last star, and then wrap it up.
It's funny. The two things that I really liked as a sixth grader was Nintendo 64 and Donkey Kong Country 3, and watching original Star Trek series. So I don't know if you've seen my Donkey Kong video. I actually mentioned Star Trek. I mentioned Star Trek in that video, even though it's a Donkey Kong retrospective. I literally show because I talk about Christmas and what I got for Christmas, and I got the two VHSs of the first two episodes of Star Trek Island. I managed to find the pictures of them. So,
did you by chance ever like try and watch those Star Trek episodes while playing Donkey Kong at the same time?
Not really. I had the VCR was in the living room, and the Super Nintendo was in my bedroom, but the VCR was in the living room. So if I was home by myself, I'd go from room to room and stuff and play and then watch and stuff. I used to rewatch episodes like crazy. So yeah, so those things were connected.
Nice.
So like when I got Ocarina of Time, 8th grade for Christmas, I think the two episodes I got that Christmas was Operation Annihilate, which is season 1,
Mm-hmm.
and the episode All Are Yesterday. So a season 1 and a season 3 episode. That was my
Interesting.
traditional ask. I always ask for two VHSs of one from season 1 and one from season 3.
Interesting.
Because the first two that I owned were Space Seed and Spock's Brain, season 1 and season 3. So
Nice. Well, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and shut this down now. So thank you, Brian, for hopping on for the second half of this stream and talking with me.
thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And you guys watching, thank you so much for watching this. Woopa Troopa, I'm definitely going to be messaging you so we can get on doing something together, because I think just seeing what you type in the chat, you sound like an interesting person to talk to, and I want to talk to you some more.
Well, he is a mod Coriel, so he has my blessing.
Awesome.
Excuse me.
No, it's fine. Well, anyways, guys, we're going to go ahead and cut it here. So thank you, everyone, for watching this. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Don't forget tomorrow, 9 p.m., the 300 subscriber spectacular. Myself and Mando on Fire will be here. It'll be an open mic chill stream. Anyone can pop in, and we can talk about pretty much whatever. So make sure to keep that date. Check out the